All right, guys, thank you so much for my eye twitched. It did. I felt it twitch. You guys like my eyeliner? Hi, you guys. Welcome to the vlog. My name is Danielle if you're new here. I am so excited because I've wanted to do a vlog for forever, and I look forward to the episodes. I look forward to the process of learning. There's so much that I have learned just in the past few weeks that I wouldn't have learned if I wasn't doing it. It's one thing to like help other people. It's another when you're sitting in the seat and having to like figure out your own process. And so I'm having a blast. Speaking of a blast, my nephew, his birthday was January 17th. And so his birthday for me kind of marks the end of like the celebrations, holiday kind of thing. Because you go from Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year's to Kwanzaa to then his birthday. And so I was eating like crazy. I was eating all kinds of sweets. I was eating vegetables here and there, but not enough. And so it's on brand. New Year's, you make resolutions, eat more greens, all the things. So we're making a salad today. I can't wait to share that with you. And also, I wanted to talk a little bit more about one of my favorite books from 2023, A Renaissance of Our Own by Rachel E. Cargle. It's a memoir and manifesto on reimagining. So let's eat first, and then we'll get to the book. I typically like to make my own salad dressing, mainly because I think it just tastes better. You can taste how fresh the ingredients are when they're brought together, and it just does wonders for a salad. And at home, I just feel like there's a little bit more creativity I get to have when I make the salad dressings myself. And so that's something that I would recommend if you are looking for ways to make your salads taste better. Make your own salad dressing. So you need a fat, you need an acid, and you need salt. Or depending on your health conditions, maybe no salt. But as long as you add those three combinations together, which can come in many forms. The fat is usually an oil, so whether you use extra virgin olive oil like I did here, or sometimes I use avocado oil, any oil really can work. I just wouldn't do like vegetable oil or something like that. But even like a nut oil can work, like maybe a macadamia nut oil, something like that could be fun. And then for the acid, you could use, I used lemon juice, but you could use apple cider vinegar. What else could you do? Lime juice, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, something like along those lines. I've even done orange juice before, like fresh squeezed orange juice as my acid. Any kind of citrus will work, really. Grapefruit juice. And then you can add seasonings, and like I'll use fresh cut. I just cut up some garlic. I'm about to cut up some onion and put it in there as well. Just chop it up real fine and make that a part of the dressing. And then I like to incorporate Parmesan cheese, the grated one. I know people say this isn't real food. That's fine. I just like what it does for my dressing and really my salads in general. So I think that can be a great way to add some crunch. The grated garlic and chopped up garlic and chopped up onions can add an extra crunch depending on how small you cut them up. And it makes for a really good salad. So it might look small in comparison to the actual bowl, but I'm excited and I'm ready to dig in. I need some crunch. Give me a second. Okay, I just chopped up some almonds. I was in my local public library and I was just randomly going through the aisles and looking to see the books that caught my eye, to be honest. And this one, I mean, look at the artwork, the cover, the colors are just eye-catching. And so I saw the book, honestly, and was like, ooh, what a pretty cover. What is this about? It really was the artwork that really caught my eye first. Not knowing that this would be my favorite book to read of 2023. She has 6 chapters in this book, and she also has an introduction and other portions like the author's notes and that kind of thing, and an opportunity for you to create your own manifesto. She reimagines belief systems, relationships, feminism, education, work, and rest. For me, my favorite chapter to read, but to be honest, most painful chapter to read, was chapter 1. It's reimagining belief systems. Belief systems in a lot of ways like, religion. And for me, I was raised in a devout Christian household. And it wasn't until the pandemic started that I really was forced to not go to church and sit down with myself and really reflect on how I felt about my own life and the role that my belief systems played in the results that I was getting. I was very prone to denying myself and believing that I just wasn't worthy of certain things because others were going through challenges, and so it was my job to self-sacrifice and practice self-denial and show up in other spaces for other people. And I really did believe that in a way that was really toxic, really unhealthy, and it was the breeding ground for making other people my God, their needs my God. I think there's codependency probably mixed in with that as well. And I just always had this belief system that services the rent you pay for a living. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Like, I don't owe you from my life. Yeah, it's good if I can help other people. It's nice. But to be in a space where I'm positioning myself as somebody to be constantly serving you as if I'm your savior, whether it's the church, the institution, other people, family, friends, I deserve to show up in my life as well. And I had to uproot those beliefs that were reflecting otherwise. And I'm still reimagining and trying to figure out the role that God and church and spiritual beliefs play in my life. I don't know what that fully looks like, to be fully committed to religion again. I don't think that'll happen, but I think the idea of going to church, yeah, but just maybe not on a consistent basis, maybe more like on a quarterly basis or a monthly basis. Respectability politics, patriarchy, misogyny, racism, a lot of those isms, elitism, a lot of that stuff plays into what we believe we're supposed to do as whatever type of believer you are. in a way that just wasn't honoring who I want to be in the world and taking full ownership for who I want to be, how I want to show up, what I'm okay with, in terms of how I'm being perceived. I think that was something that I was concerned about. Like, it gave me permission to create spiritual experiences and a lifestyle that's on my terms, unapologetically on my terms. There was a creator online, his name is Jonathan Edward Durham. He said, I love when a book forces me to keep reading, but I also love when a book makes me stop reading. When the writing is so deft or so beautiful or so jarring that I just need a moment to process it all. I love that too. I couldn't agree more when it comes to this chapter. I stopped multiple times, cried, got tissues, collected myself, cried again, and this chapter gathered me in ways that I didn't see coming, and I'm grateful for that. Other chapters were, like, the whole book was great. Let me be clear. I loved the book. The book also showed me a little bit more about my own prejudices and my own beliefs. I see how I could judge somebody who makes the choice to leave a marriage that's it's a good man, not say healthy. She was like, this is a good man. He's not harmful to me. It's just, this isn't the right relationship for me. I'm dying in this relationship. And it's not because he wasn't abusive. She didn't say anything about that, but she was just saying she was deeply unhappy in the marriage. She wasn't happy in it. And I think I grapple with the idea of leaving because you're unhappy. And that's another thing. I think I had to come to terms with the idea, like, love is a risk. There's no way you can fully protect yourself from the unforeseeable. I think maybe that's just a space for duality where both can be true. It can be, this is hard, but it's also necessary. I'm okay with the tension. Because while it could be easy for me on one hand to read it from her perspective and be like, you go girl, pursue your happiness. But let's say I knew her husband. I don't. But let's say her husband was somebody that I actually knew. Say he was like my brother or my father or like my nephew or a friend. How would I feel? Would I still be like championing her on, or would I be like, girl, you said vows and he's good to you. Why would you leave? I can see both sides. And granted, he may not feel this way. He may feel like, no, girl, go follow your bliss. It's for the best. Because on the same time, you don't want to stay with somebody. You don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you. That can't be great to feel either. It's the tension. I think one of the other things that I really respected was her approach to work. She's at the head of all of her companies. Well, she has a company and then she has other companies underneath the umbrella. She uses Beyonce and Oprah as examples of the way she approaches work in certain ways, not always. She doesn't work herself to the bone. She's not doing that. She's making room for rest. But she also, like Beyonce, she incorporates her passions. She finds ways to bring all of her passions into her work. Also, she's a leader of her companies, and so she runs them as you would in a matriarchal society, which I was like, whoa, you hear so much about patriarchy, nothing about matriarchy. I'm not going to give that away, so I'll let you dig deeper into that. It's a fascinating concept that I think is actually incredibly healthy. Education. She didn't finish her degree at Columbia, but she is a devout pursuer of knowledge, education, opportunities, and she gives space for others to say, you know what, this is not the path that works for me. I will find one that does. And I think it would be very easy to look at her path and say, girl, you're a junior at Columbia. You have one more year. Just finish. Just get the degree. But she was like, no, I'm leaving. And you can read the book to see the reasons why. She's steadfast when it comes to her belief systems. And I truly respect that. I really appreciated the model that she gave us that she's actually walking out. It's one thing to tell people like, hey, do this, do this, do this, but it's another to see like, hey, I'm actively doing this. I'm working through this. There's no blueprint. I'm making it. And as I make it, you can follow along. It gave me permission to dream bigger and to dream differently. And I will always value this book for what it's done for me in this season of my life. And I would highly recommend it. So I will probably leave a link. I'll leave a link in my description box so you can check it out. Also, you can follow Rachel on Instagram. I know she's pretty active there. So yeah, that's my story as it relates to Rachel E. Cargle. What a voice. What a light, what a voice. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's vlog. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and subscribe if you're new here. Comment below, let me know what you guys are planning on doing in the new year to be healthier and more prosperous and happier and whole and all the wonderful things in 2024. I'd love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.